Well, alrighty, guys, welcome back to another session. And in this session, what we are going to be doing is running another half month's worth of data. Um, might just go like as long as I possibly can, and we'll see what we can do from there. However, this is my first recording back. I'm not actually jumping back into it, but I just figure why not, maybe somebody can learn something. Talk on the mic. Let's see how long I can last on the mic, but fucking let's see what I do. Obviously, this is not our win rate, like our actual win rate. I just started this session, so we are currently up 15R, 90% win rate. Obviously, that's not true, but yeah, we're just doing really good right now, right? But yeah, let's go and drop straight into it. Targeting 1.5 right now, just trying to get used to that and then seeing what we can do from there. So let's go and jump into it. First time recording again, so let's see how we do. So my first steps is really just identifying like where we're at on the chart, what are we doing, and everything in between. Let me just bring up my Figma journal entries so that way we can see this chart here, and we'll relate back to everything that's located right here. Right, so universal models, clear daily profile, clear phases and price, entry signature. That is all I'm looking for. SMTs are going to help me in terms of CISDs, in terms of guidance and lagging asset logic. But I really started to stretch my legs away from cracks and correlations. And I'm just focusing on just these baseline things here. With that being said, my entry signatures for the most part, almost every single time, is just going to be 15-minute fractals, C2 to C3s, and then trading the C3s with the lower time frame V shapes that will match it, and just in line with everything else. But with that being said, let us drop into it, and we'll go over that list in between every single trade so that way you can see the consistency behind it and the way that I use it, right? So on the daily chart in general, we can take notice that the previous day was a bearish day. That bearish day was a Monday open up high. We can see the weekly profile is open high, internal, external, and we can see that we have that daily C2. With that daily C2 going and pressing down, YM looks a lot weaker as it does go and press down a lot further, as NQ has not did that, right? So we can take notice that YM did go and press us down further. We do take out Monday's low already. I'm not going to count that as like your SMT because of the fact that Monday is just an accumulation, manipulation, expansion. We want to see the continuation downwards to these lows here. So on the daily time frame, what am I looking at is just your overall order flow. You can see your AMD C2 trading within a daily C3, wanting to see the continuation down to this low. Right, so that's kind of where my bias is. I'm going to be remaining bearish on a day, trading from C2 to C3 in line with the weekly profile. So weekly profile does have that open up high into the key interest expansion away. Dropping in on the 6-hour time frame, what am I looking for is just the daily profile in itself. You can see that Asia, we do like have a low here, not really a significant low as there's equal lows there. And price is moving a lot more bullish here on YM, as NQ is actually going to be a lot less bearish. So NQ actually might be the move here, as it is showing me more signs that it wants to go lower. But right now, currently, it does just look like a consolidation. So with us being within this consolidation, I might not want to trade it until these highs are taken regardless, as those highs are considered equal highs even if there is an SMT there. So with that being said, let's see if we have this push. We can take notice that YM still wants to go up higher. I cannot trade higher, as everything is pointing me in the downwards direction, as we do have that clear daily profile up to the open high, and we can see that price is now expanding away from here. So the SMT is going to be considered valid, as price is expanding away lower, as YM is also reversing currently as well. We can take notice that we are expanding here. So I wait for that 15-minute closure, as I did not trust these highs to put my stop loss at it yet. Currently, now that we did expand lower, I might not be able to get on side with this. As long as I can get on side prior to this low, we can trade it, right? So I want to trade NQ, as NQ does show me a lot more bearish signatures. So let's see if I can get a limit fill here with my 15, with my stop loss at, we're going to put it at the 10 a.m. high, as the 10 a.m. high is an SMTC2, as YM has taken it. So this is where I'm using SMTs. I'm not looking at this as a two-stage SMT. I'm looking at it as, okay, so YM took this high and we have expanded lower, giving us the CISD. So that technically means that this is a C2, and my stop losses are always going to be at the C2s. So with that being said, I can take a positional entry, see if we can get a pullback limit fill on it, as I want to just shoot for 1.5 to that low. So let's see if we can get this limit fill. Sorry. There you go. Let's see if we can get it. Oh shit. Chopped out. Yeah, and then fucking we get chopped out there. So unfortunately, lost there, and that's cool. Yeah, I'll eat that, whatever. So setting the high of the 10 a.m. candle with the 15-minute C2, you can see that we are within a tighter range day. So there is reasonings for it to be considered a tight range day, right? So took that L there. And yeah, looks like I was just off sides with the bias and everything like that. So that's cool. You know what I mean? Damn. I was in the fucking chat, huh? First trade in the session, just L. It's fucking crazy. Whatever. Cool. So right now we can see that we are pretty bullish here. Daily profile is a clear open high into this level here. I'm looking to trade back down into the range, not gonna lie to you. Right, clear daily profile, open high. Accumulation, manipulation, 6 a.m. rejection candle, 15-minute C expansion away, opening up of gaps. We have a different phase in price that's presenting itself, right? So I'd like to see this gap get tapped into in order for us to go and trade down lower now. So let's see if we can get this. Ah, fuck. Well, that's fucked up. So nothing there. We do tap into a very relative level on NQ. So let's see if we can get the lagging asset logic on YM now. And in order for me to get the lagging asset logic on YM, I would need to see a new 15-minute fractal get formed here. So we'd have to wait till, okay, well, price just ripped straight to draws. Cool. And price is just expanding now. So with that expansion there, I would have to wait for that different phase in price. So price does expand up higher. We do tap into this level. Let's see if we can get a 15. Oh, it's 1150 already. So there's really just nothing there for me. Wanted to get in up here, but just I can't trust any of these highs here. It just doesn't. That I need a sweep of some form in order to get on side with it, right? But there just wasn't anything there. So nothing there for me. And no trades. Bias correct. External, internal. However, it's just I couldn't get on side with it, right? Because there's just no entries. When there's no entries like that, then what the fuck can you do? You know what I mean? It just goes straight there. Obviously daily C2. Wanting to see daily C3 down to this low. It is a Friday, so take that into consideration, as setting new lows of weeks is going to be kind of rough on the edge in itself. We can take notice that Asia does have that expansion low. We have that push up in London. No manipulation from London though. Looking like we do have that 6 a.m. C2, looking to trade 10 a.m. C3. So 6 a.m. is actually an accumulation candle. So with this all being said, this is fucking chopped. I ain't gonna front to you. Like, don't trade this shit. Yeah, this is not something I would want to trade. This area right here, so hard to trade away from all of these highs. You know what I mean? With no manipulations, so difficult to trade away from this. With that being said, I wouldn't have traded anything here, and it would just be a skip day where I wouldn't get anything. So that's just that, right? So taking a look here, we impact that low. Something I want to be aware of. maybe trading back down up into the range here. I want to trade the continuations. Daily profile, clear daily profile, AMD pushed downwards. Okay, so you got that delay protraction, 6 a.m. rejection candle, wanting to press lower down to the next draw on liquidity, accumulation, manipulation, looking for the distribution down lower. I would like to see okay, so YM actually does have better better, what is that called? Fucking YM has a better targets. In order for me to jump on side here, I would need a new 15-minute swing formation, just because of the fact that I can't trade fucking without a 15-minute swing, really. So I would just need that different phase in price. We can obviously see that NQ is the most bearish asset here. So with NQ being the most bearish asset, I'm going to be looking to participate in NQ. So here you could take notice that NQ is the closest to these lows, as there's a bunch of equal lows. Looking internal, external, 15-minute C2, looking for that 3-minute CISD. I'm going to go and enter if we get this candle closure here. Ah, fucking A, bro. Stupid fuck. This thing is going to leave without me now. Let's get that limit fill. And then there's your 1.5 or 1.6, right? So, yeah, that's just a 15-minute C2. Right, so you got your 15-minute C2 outside the 15-minute gap, expansion away from the high. You got your accumulation, manipulation, distribution in line with everything going down to this low. As you can tell, failure to manipulate takes out the current day's high and then expansion lower. And all we are doing is aligning that expansion and trying to trade NQ, as NQ is a lot weaker than YM is, as YM is a lot higher and NQ is just pretty much right there. So with that being said, 15-minute C2 to C3, 3-minute CISD, V-shape trading within the C3 here. And you get your closure here. I set the limit because why? I want to trade it down to that low for 1.5. And that's just basically what it is, right? Cool. Next day's open. So taking a look here, just wanting to trade the continuations here down to the downside. As you can tell, YM is more so accumulating here on the daily time frame, as we do have that very sharp up. I can see the delay protraction here as we have that accumulation, the manipulation. These lows here is going to be considered your draw on liquidity. We do have a 6 a.m. C2, very sharp rejection off of it, and we do have that 15-minute CISD, accumulation, manipulation, and then you do have that new 15-minute model that's already present prior. So with this 15-minute model present prior, as you do have these V shapes and a protected level put in prior to 10 a.m., we can actually trade 10 a.m. as that positional type entry, right? And then we can trade NQ lower, as NQ is a lot better looking and weaker with manipulations and everything like that, pressing us down into the range for us to go there. So with that being said, this is a 10 a.m. positional entry where we can just take this downwards to those lows. Once you cross that low at the bottom, that's where you'd like to go break even at. Fucking hella fucking bad price action. I'm gonna go break even already, as we don't really want to see it come back up like that after. Right after this first one, cool, and then you go down and you come back up, fuck no. You know what I mean? You're just gonna get out at break even. So with that being said, super bad price action. We did not deliver to that low, unfortunately, but yeah, that's basically what that trade would be. After this push right here, and you see this push, you want to see it deliver already. You don't want to go in, just go break even already. You know what I mean? Don't have to be like mechanical break even just because it didn't pass this low and shit. So non-delivery, just kind of difficult there. And yeah, so the basic idea of this for the 10 a.m. positional entry was just seeing that we do already have a 15-minute model and everything that was presented prior. So with everything already presented prior to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. should do what? Expand, right? So that's just basically what it does. Expansion, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And then you can see that we do have that accumulation here, manipulation, and then the CISD. So you have that protected level prior to 10, and we should just see 10 expand, which it didn't, but which is cool. You know what I mean? That's fine. So there wouldn't be that would just be your break-even trade there. So taking a look here on the daily time frame, as you can tell, we are just extremely bearish already. So with us being extremely bearish, the daily candle doesn't have a wick, and it just is expanding straight upwards. I would want to see this high get impacted. I may not be taking a trade here, as the wick of the daily chart is going to be extremely long to the downside. We can trade up to the upside if we really wanted to. Problem with this is I don't like to trade. Yeah, you couldn't trade this shit. Fuck that. Yeah, that's a trip. Yeah, so you can't really trade upwards either because of all these lows that's just stacked up next to each other. So that's just not gonna work out, right? So you'd much rather wait for those highs to get impacted, and then from that impact of that high, there just wouldn't be enough time in the day for me to get on side with it, because in order for me to trade this, I would need a 15-minute C2 to C2. So that's just my continuation entry, right? So there just wouldn't be enough time in the day for me to trade this. So here we'd want to see the displacement back lower, right? Yeah, so just nothing here for us. Obviously we could have been we were gonna be bullish up to this high. Problem with that is just you can't trade it fucking positioning because there's no manipulation of these lows, right? The lows is just way too stacked up against each other, so you're not going to trust that 15-minute C2. Yeah, it's just basically that, so there wouldn't be any trades there. So taking a look here on the daily time frame, as you can take notice of it, so we have a very expansive previous day's candle. Problem with this is that we are having a very expansive previous day's candle from the middle of nowhere, right? So with that being said, I'm still going to be remaining more on the bullish end. The daily profile though is telling me fucking bullish momentum, bro. I ain't going front about that, right? So we have that retrace. You do have the low resistance that's located there. We do have YM actually giving us an internal external type model with a 6 a.m. C2, very expansive away from this low. As price has already expanded, I would need to see a new 15-minute swing formation and a different phase in price present itself. So let's see if we can get that. So here's your different phase in price presenting itself. There's your gap. Now we'd want to see a 15-minute swing formation outside of this gap, and that gap be respected. So once you get this gap being respected here, I'll count that as a C2. Not one. Isha. Fuck, no 3-minute CISD. I hate when there's no 3-minute CISDs. I'll wait to see. Okay, so now we have a new SMT there. So if this can fire straight upwards, so there's just nothing. There was no firing straight upwards here. So now we can take notice that we are actually just extremely bearish, and we are leaving those highs there. I can't trade up high. I can't trade lower anymore, or I can't trade higher anymore, right? So with that being said, my bias was wrong, and I just wouldn't be able to get in on side with any trade. So original bias of us being bearish was correct here. I just could not trade away from that previous day's high with the daily profile supporting it with no wick on the daily candle, right? So trading lower for me was not an option with the no wick on the daily candle and the daily profile telling me to go up higher with the displacement in that 930. Definitely not telling me that I'm allowed to go higher there or lower here. So I just couldn't trade lower. So that's just something that I would have to just not be able to participate in, right? Could not trade lower. As you can tell, it didn't go that lower, that much lower. So we do impact that relative level here, which is now going to be your accumulation, manipulation. Now we can continue down lower here, as you do have that clear daily profile of that open high, leaving behind all of these lows that's located here. and now we can take notice of that AMD that is forming up. We have that 6 a.m. C2 looking for 10 a.m. C3, and we can take notice of that expansion. Because expansion has already occurred, we have opened up this draw on liquidity there, not draw on liquidity, opened up that gap there. We could trade, oh fuck, this was a good trade here. YM positional entry as a lagging asset logic. Yeah, fuck, that's already TP, never mind. Okay, so let's see if we can get on side with NQ here. I'm just gonna wait for a new 15-minute swing to get on side with this. So NQ is just very low in the range already. It might be kind of difficult for me to trade NQ lower. I would more so want to trade YM lower, as YM has tapped into the SMT here. NQ is failing to manipulate, and we can trade YM lower if the phases and price goes and supports it. So let's see. Phases and price is not supporting it right now. Okay, so we got that 15-minute C2. Yeah, I don't like the way the phases is not really supporting that there. It's not like a clear fucking model, so to say. Let's just wait for the 15-minute close. Here you can see that NQ is flushing. I'm going to trade YM as that lagging asset, as we do have a more clear V shape. This wasn't a very clear V shape to me. I mean, I guess you could say it's just these highs there just wasn't that clear to me, right? And then we could just trade YM as that lagging asset to catch up with where NQ is. So 1.5. Where am I? And then there's your 1.5 for it, right? So I'm not able to trade NQ because NQ is so low in the range, but I can trade YM as that lagging asset to break the SMT that NQ is failing to manipulate out of this little model here, right? So we want to just trade it down. We want to just trade YM because it is the lagging asset down to that low hanging fruit low. And then there would be your full TP on it, right? But you don't really want to go and trade it down to the full TP. You just want to go and fucking take off your 1.5 2R, right? I'm just taking it off at 1.5. And that's pretty much that trade there, right? So, oh fuck, I should have went over it, right? Cool. So taking a look here on the daily time frame, what can we take notice of is, okay, so we got that daily continuation operating within that daily C3. Obvious draws on liquidity is lower. YM or NQ is a lot weaker here. We have that clear daily profile, open, high, low, close. We do have this draw on liquidity where this is where we're going to get to today. So this is where I would like to see price start to displace towards today type deal, right? So we do have that open high, close, low, taps us into a very relevant level, which is the current day's low, gets sent into a different phase and price, which is your accumulation. Then we make the manipulation with that 945 C2. Now we check the lower time frame. Do we have a lower time frame V-shape reversal? Yes, we do. I can take the 10 a.m. positional entry as the reversal has happened prior to 10 a.m. And then we can just take that positional entry as we are expanding away from a protected level already. So 10 a.m. should just expand lower or fucking stop me out, whatever. Yeah. Fuck. I was wrong there, right? Looks like we wanted to actually open up higher, give me a new 15-minute swing formation there. And then you do have that 15-minute closure like this. I'm only taking 1R losses on the day so far. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But this would be your secondary entry, like a retry, so to say, right? So let's see. Does that play? And then there would be your fucking 1.5 on it, right? Yeah, so the secondary entry worked here. I guess you could say this OB and this V shape was kind of weak, but I seen this as your accumulation, manipulation, reversal happening prior to 10, and then you should be able to compress downwards. Why would we have to go back up higher? I'm not entirely sure. Hold on. YM didn't need to. I mean, I guess you could say YM wanted to, but it didn't need to, right? YM wanted to go and take this high, and that's kind of what carried NQ up higher. And when YM did tap into this high here, that's what fucking triggered for NQ to go down lower. So, with that being said, I mean, that's not even what the fuck caused it. So, the true cause was here. The true cause was here, like that. But nonetheless, I was cool at the 10 a.m. positional entry as the reversal has happened. The CISD, the V shape, everything has happened prior. And yeah, I just fucking failed, I guess. Whatever. Cool. Cool with that. So taking a look here, I mean, daily continuation, NQ has just tapped into its very relative level, which is this low. So with this low getting impacted, we may not be taking a trade here on the day, as pretty much all draws on liquidity has been tapped into. Price kind of just hitting that accumulation, that manipulation up higher, and really just reversing. But I really just don't see this going anywhere except here. If I gotta be honest with you, it's just gonna be like an all-out accumulation day or a reversal day up higher. I don't want to trade up higher because of order flow, personally, and it's just, yeah, I just don't want to trade up higher. If I gotta be honest with you, it just doesn't seem. I guess so. Fucking yeah, I guess so. I just couldn't trade. I just didn't want to trade up higher. I mean, clear daily profile, expansion, high. Fuck, maybe I was just rushing it. I don't know. I'm not gonna go and say anything in hindsight because that's fucking weird. You know what I mean? Okay, so as you can tell, daily C2 very expansive, trading within the daily C3, and I would just like to catch up to with where NQ or YM has already tapped into this high. So with YM failing to manipulate, we can trade NQ up higher to catch up with that exact same high, going from external internal, daily C2 to C3, Monday accumulation or Monday open low, Tuesday clear weekly profile. Day has low-key expanded already with an Asia low a day. I need to see a different phase in price present itself, such as an accumulation or something. The different phase in price actually did present itself. We just tapped into its draw on liquidity already. So it's just going to be kind of hard for me to take longs this high up in the range as the day has low-key already expanded. I wanted to take longs down here after your accumulation manipulation, not all the way the fuck up here at the highest points of the day, at the highest point of this expansion leg. That's not for me personally. I just wouldn't want to take that. That just wouldn't be me, and the day would just kind of be chopped from there, right? YM too high in the range, leading asset. After draws have been impacted, what is YM going to do? Accumulate. What is NQ trying to do? Catch up to break the SMT. However, being this high in the range, I can't just take along at the highest points of days like this, right? I wanted to take a long down here, not up here. So there wouldn't be any trades for me there. Cool. Fucking neck hurts, bro. What the fuck? So taking a look here, daily continuation of the already existing trend up to that high. YM strongest asset up to those highs. Daily profile is extremely clear. Accumulation, manipulation, looking for the distribution up higher. We can take notice of the AMD lows. 6 a.m. C2 looking for a 10 a.m. C3 1 hour push. SMT in between these lows here, so I'm not too concerned with the way that it looks here. Reversal has happened prior to the driver or prior to 10 a.m. 10 a.m. already is expanding up higher. So with the 10 a.m. expansion up higher and price has already expanded, I am not in a reasonable position to just fucking enter here. What I could do, because the reversal has happened, I could go and set a limit for that 10 a.m. to open low into the limit, so that way I can get my 1.5 like this and see if we get it, if 10 a.m. does open low for us. It's just going to be a little hard to get that 15-minute swing formation here, as it could just expand straight there. So now we're going to go and get our limit filled here and looking to see us start to expand back up higher. And then there's your TP, right? Accumulation, manipulation. 15-minute gap is the gap that you want to see us form. You can see 10 a.m. open low into this gap and set the low with a 15-minute fractal. I just set the limit because sometimes it's a lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes it's just harder for you to find a fractal in here. So I just set a limit for us to go up there if I have high confidence in the draw, and we also didn't take it prior, right? So we do not take it prior. That's a key thing as well, where we can see that fucking open low and then us push up higher. So basically, oh, that's not even fucking 1.5. That's 1.3. That's crazy. It might have been 1.5. I don't know. Other than that, yeah, that's basically that trade there. Oh shit, sorry. Cool. Okay, so taking a look here, daily profile is everything is pushing up bullish right now. So with us being bullish, we are in a bullish continuation of an already existing bullish trend. So with us being an already existing bullish trend, I do want to take notice that price has tapped into this high here on YM. We are failing to manipulate, so now we can possibly go and trade NQ up to go and meet those same highs. Problem with this is there's just really no like immediate draws on liquidity, right? As we just tap into this current or previous day's high, this can send us into a different phase in price. Why our ES does take these lows, so we do have a clear daily profile with the SMT low, as YM is kind of just chopping. We want to see NQ go and pick up its pace to get up to there. In order for me to get on side with this though, I will need to see a new 15-minute fractal, because I cannot trade all the way at the top of this day with no immediate targets that's easy for me to go break even or even target to. So with that being said, I am looking for a 15-minute fractal model in order for us to trade up higher and frame this continuation. So here's your 15-minute fractal, as YM has tapped into this low, giving me an SMTC2, and so has ES as well, with the SMTC2 inside of that pushing downward or pushing that one upwards. So with this SMTC2, 3-minute CISD entry is going to be here with the V-shape continuation. 11 a.m. should just be able to keep on expanding up to 1.5 R as your draw on liquidity, and then I can just go break even at the highest points of the day. So with that being said, stops goes to break even at the highest point of the day, and then you just hold for 1.5 R. Do we get it? And then you get it at 1.5 R, right? So cool. So you got clear daily profile, expansion, relative level, wait for your 15-minute swing, 15-minute swing, trade the C3, 3-minute CISD, V-shape, entry, right? Break even at the highest point of the day, NQ to catch up to the draw on liquidity, which is just your lagging asset logic that YM has already tapped into, and then you want to see NQ go and meet up with that same high. All right, so that's basically what that is. How long have we been going? 33 minutes? I don't even know how long, how much days we did already. Not gonna lie there. Fucking daily continuation might not be trading today, as you can take notice that this high has been impacted. Very relative level. This is where we can get presented a different phase of price for the day to do what? Possibly just accumulate right here, as we are too bullish to be shorting and is too fucking relative of a level to be longing. So what do you want to see? A different phase in price happen, as price is making its way down lower. I am not trying to short this, as this is too bullish of a leg to short, and just on the lower time frames in general, what are you going to see here is just a chop daily profile where it's just accumulation, manipulation day, and then the press downwards. Trading down lower just seems very low quality to me, as this can just become your seek and destroy profile, as we did what tapped into a very relative level, presenting us with what a different phase in price. What phase in price? And accumulation. Why? Because the relative level has been impacted. Why are we not shorting? Because it's too fucking bullish. Why are we not trying to long here? It's because the relative level has just got impacted, and now we're trading two high resistance highs after an expansion. Nah, I'm good. I'd rather just wait for something more clear and like more higher quality, because like I said, fucking high resistance high, it just doesn't even fucking deliver. You know what I mean? It's a chopped out day. And that's just like how you can avoid that different phase in price of you getting fucked up there. So we can take notice that price is now still holding that bullish momentum. We are within this accumulation. Daily profile is very clear. Problem with these trades to get to continue up higher is there's just no immediate targets. YM is going for this high that's located over here. So with YM going for this high, we may be able to trade YM up higher to go and meet up with those highs. I don't like the way that we just tapped into this high there. But we're failing to manipulate it, obviously, right? So obviously we're failing to manipulate it. But what I would like to see now, if we are going to continue through it, is just a different phase in price to give me a new 15-minute swing low. So it's just going to keep ripping. I'm looking at YM right now, because YM is giving me these different phases, as NQ is just ripping up higher. I'm not trying to go and trade NQ, right? I'm more so trying to trade the different phases as they present itself. So let's see if we can get like a 15-minute swing here. Yeah, just nothing here, and it just turns into trash, and there just wouldn't be anything here. What I was looking to try to see to do is if we can get that accumulation, manipulation, and then the distribution up higher here on YM. So this would be like your accumulation. Here's your manipulation. And then, wait, hold on. Sorry. There's your 15-minute C2, and looking to trade the 15-minute C3. Or I don't know if that's a 15-minute C. Some shit like that, bro. You know what I mean? But fuck him. As long as you have like a 15-minute swing formation. That wasn't even like a 15-minute swing. There's your actual C2. See how this wasn't actually like a C2? There, it's kind of why you wouldn't be able to trade it. But there's your actual C2, and what happens after your actual C2 happens, you get your C3 expansion up to the AMD highs, which is going to be considered this high here, right? Or not. Fuck. Some shit like that. Just so bad, bro. So bad. You just don't want to trade after like relative levels like that get impacted. So just no trades. So yeah, like just very conservative, you know what I mean? Stay conservative in moments where you don't know what to do. Just fucking let the fucking thing do its thing, right? This is just very up and down here. I would like to trade long just with the daily order flow here. We can take notice of the clear daily profile open low here, pushing down to discount of this price leg. If I want to be bullish, I need to see displacement up higher, like right fucking now type shit. So here's your push 15-minute C2. I need to see a C2 to C2 continuation in order for me to trade up higher. So I would need to see a new 15-minute swing formation in order to get on side with anything here. So you have that expansion, your different phase in price, opens up a gap. Once you get that gap opening up there, wait for the 15-minute swing formation outside of this gap to happen. Once you get that 15-minute swing formation outside of this gap, this is going to give you your different phases and price will present itself. Expansion, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, V-shape reversal. Off of it, wait for the 3-minute CISD that's located here. Entry, accumulation, 1.5. Sorry, hold on. We'll go here and then trade. Fucking A, bro. And then I'll just set a limit at 1.5. Tapped in. Oh shit, motherfucker. What the fuck? That's supposed to go straight there. I ain't even going front. This is not good. Fuck, that fucker missed, bro. That's crazy. Yo, what? I guess I probably should have been at break even after taking out those highs, but nah, I should have went straight through all of those, honestly. Um, yeah, that's unfortunate, eh? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna call it there. That's just unfortunate. Not gonna front. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it there. Pretty cool though. Good session, so to say. Where are we trading at? Analytics. Yeah, that's about where we're actually been trading. 77%. Not the best, but obviously fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, 3 losses. So not entirely bad either. A little bit over 50%, which is fine by me, right? Conservative, very conservative. Obviously, when you throw in a little bit of mixture of gold, you're gonna get those full weeks of trading 5 days a week, right? I've been trading pretty much 4 to 5 days a week, at least one trade a day. Not at least. I pretty much only trade one trade a day now, and just yeah, it's fucking does the trick, bro. I ain't going front about that. Just 1.5 has been that's just what I've been practicing as well. But other than that, yeah, I mean, we almost did what, almost a whole month, almost a whole month. I'm just gonna call it there, just cause I'm tired, bro. Oh, I don't know if you guys like this type of videos. I'll post it. Might delete it after. We'll see. Um, but that's just my updated trading strategy. It's stupid simple, right? Just literally, it's literally fucking exactly as. Let's go on Instagram. Literally exactly as every single one of these fucking drawings is, right? So all we're doing is clear daily profile of that open high, expansion, right? C2, daily continuation. That's my higher probabilities. IRL, ERL, open high, press downwards. 6 a.m. C2, looking for 10 a.m. to be C3. 2 going target, low resistance. CISD, expansion. What happens if we expand at 9:30? Opens up a gap. We want to see what the different phases in price present itself. After the different phases in price present itself, what is it going to do? Expansion away, accumulation, manipulation. C2 outside of a gap with the different phases in price, and then you have that expansion man with expansion with the V shape. Entry in the C3, stops always goes to the C2's high, and we expand lower. That's all it is, right? Exactly the same here. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we'll go from the daily chart, daily continuation of the already existing trend, pushing up higher. Yeah, there's an SMT. Who really cares? Doesn't fucking matter. I'm more so looking at this 6 a.m. C2, looking to trade 10 a.m. C3. Right from the 10 a.m. C3. What am I looking for? Different phases in price, accumulation, looking for the manipulation, and in the press upwards. We can take notice that that 15-minute swing formation is pushing into 10 a.m., already creating a protective level with an SMT and a swing formation from the accumulation lows. So you have that manipulation, and in the lower time frame V-shape reversal, that's telling you to go and jump in for that 10 a.m. expansion up higher. And then that's your model there, right? So this one, same thing, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. You can take all of this, whatever, but daily chart, daily continuation. From the daily continuation, clear daily profile, open up high, IRL, ERL, looking for these lows as YM or as gold has already taken out this low. So we are trading lagging asset logic and all of this. With that being said, all of that low resistance liquidity, which is located below, we are looking at a clear IRL, ERL, whatever. 6 a.m. a.m. C2, looking to trade 10 a.m. as the C3. From this, we can take notice of the fact that before or at 10 a.m. opens high into a relative level with SMT. We do have that very strong push down lower. With that very strong push down lower here on silver, we have the CISD C2 to C3 showing me that clear V-shaped reversal, opening up of gaps. I waited for the pullback just because the silver is very expensive, so I waited for the pullback into the gap, entered on it, and then we got manipulated out, and the protected high wasn't actually protected, and price then flushed down lower. So with that being said, kind of got stopped out there for a reason. All right, so taking a look here, we can take notice accumulation, manipulation, distribution. From the accumulation lows, sweep, boom, SMT 15-minute C2, setting the low of that 10 a.m. candle. 10 a.m. opens low here. Why can I not enter anywhere before 10 a.m.? Because there's no 3-minute CISD. The SMT shows you that there is a CISD. We have that expansion, retracement, back into the midpoint of this leg, and we're just trading the continuation of the already existing trend. So daily continuation, a continuation C2, not just a C2, right? So a continuation C2. This is trading a reversal C2 because it's counter trend. This is trading a continuation C2 because it's with the trend, right? IRL, ERL with the trend, expansion, retracement into the rebalancing of this price leg, IRL, ERL. Asia, no higher day, open low with the clear daily profile. With that clear daily profile, 6 a.m. not a C2 as it doesn't close all the way up here, but there is a very strong rejection wick off of the rebalance area, looking to see 10 a.m. do the continuation up to where all of that low resistance liquidity that is located above. Praises a price, shows you that expansion met with expansion into accumulation, and then we're trading within what? That 15-minute C2, SMT C2, trading that 15-minute C3. Stops goes to the 15-minute C2's low, and we are just trading it up to all of that low resistance liquidity. Lower time frame V shape is going to be considered your signature for it to go there. So as you can tell, it's just literally all the exact same universal models, IRL, ERL, ERL, IRL, so on and so forth. Clear daily profiles. Is there a clear open, high, low, close? Is there a clear higher day, lower day, whatever? Validate those with expansions away, clear phases and price, all that good stuff. And order flow. So daily continuations, universal models, IRL, ERL, clear daily profiles, clear phases and price. We'll go and validate all of those, and then your entry signature, which is just letting the C2 close and then trading the C3 in alignment with those higher time frame biases and shit, right? So with that being said, daily continuation, right? IRL, ERL, clear daily profile, 6 a.m. C2, sometimes 10 a.m. C3, and then you're trading a 15-minute C2, and you're trading within that C3 up to those draws on liquidity that's located to the left of us. So with that being said, this is where we're at on that trade. So on and so forth, bro. It's almost been an hour. I'm going to log off now because I am getting tired, and yeah, that's pretty much it, dog. If you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is my very first video in a long time. But yeah, other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next session, whenever that is. But yeah, I'm not back, but I figure I'll just drop one of these. All right, peace.